As our troops are being brought home from Afghanistan, the brave and loyal people and their families who helped our troops and our nation are being left behind to the terrors of retribution. Our president needs to see to the safety of those interpreters and their families. Please know this is of utmost importance and for immediate action. Hundreds have been killed already. In God's name, please. This video is a 1-minute excerpt from an extended interview with Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North and Lieutenant General William G. Boykin at World Outreach Church on Saturday, May 15, 2021. In this excerpt, Lieutenant Colonel North states that there are 17,000 Iraqi and Afghan who served as interpreters and translators for U.S. forces in the Afghanistan War. Lieutenant Colonel North is making a plea to our administration and our U.S. representatives and senators to get these people and their families to safety before the U.S. pulls all our troops out.
And one last point, very quickly. There are 17,000 young Afghan and Iraqi men and women who served as interpreters and translators for U.S. forces in this longest war America's ever been engaged in. I've met literally thousands of them. And this administration in Washington needs to hear from every American that we're praying that they will safely get out of that country those young interpreters and their families and bring them to safety, because that's the right thing to do, and it's morally reprehensible not to do so before we pull all our troops out. Contact your congressman and your 2 U.S. senators.
Thank you for viewing this video. I would encourage everyone to watch the full interview with Lieutenant Colonel North and Lieutenant General Boykin at the on-screen link. If you are unfamiliar with the history of Lieutenant Colonel North and/or Lieutenant General Boykin, their curriculum vitaes now follow.
Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North, welcome back to Middle Tennessee.
Thank you, brother. It's great to be back with you.
If you don't know Colonel North, he is a combat decorated U.S. Marine. He's a #1 best-selling author, 17 best-selling books. It's not nice to come in and outright the preacher. He's a founder of a small business. He's a holder of 3 U.S. patents. For 17 years, he was a syndicated columnist and host of war stories on the Fox News Channel. He's a graduate of the U.S. Naval Academy. He served 22 years as a U.S. Marine, for which General Boykin will forgive him, right?
Well, I don't know. That was not fair to ask me that.
Especially not while we're recording.
That's right.
Colonel North has been awarded many medals for combat: Silver Star, Bronze Star for valor, 2 Purple Hearts for wounds in action. From 83 to 86, he served as the counterterrorism coordinator on the National Security Council staff, and he helped plan the rescue of the U.S. students in Grenada, the liberation of American hostages, the capture of the Achille Laurel hijackers, and the raids on Muammar Gaddafi's terror bases, after which he was targeted for assassination by Abu Nidal's Islamic Jihad. President Reagan, this is a pretty good endorsement. President Reagan said Ollie North was an American hero. Welcome back to Tennessee, sir.
It's great to be back.
Well, our other guest is Lieutenant General Jerry Boykin. I hope you know him. He's been in the news a bit lately. Good job, General. But he was one of the original members of the U.S. Army's Delta Force. He was privileged to ultimately command those elite warriors in combat operations. General Boykin commanded all arrays, as well as the Special Warfare Center and School. In his 36 years in the Army, General Boykin served a tour with the CIA. I want to hear more about that. He's participated in clandestine operations around the world and served his last 4 years in the Army as the Deputy Undersecretary of Defense for Intelligence. He's an ordained minister with a passion for Jesus, and that leaks out of him in any conversation you have. Since June of 2012, he's been serving as the Executive Vice President of the Washington, D.C.-based Family Research Council. And you occupy the Wheat Chair for Leadership Studies at the Hampton-Sydney College in Virginia. I am way outclassed, gentlemen. I'd have studied more big words if I'd have known I was going to be in this deep of a hole. But welcome, General. It's an honor to have you back in Tennessee as well.
Pastor, it is such an honor to be here.